The NFL is structured to create parity. I think we all know that. No championship team is repeated in over 15 years. As soon as you win that Super Bowl, teams start coming for your players, and you don't have high draft picks to replace them. You can only afford so many great players. By the way, the salary cap numbers are out, and it dipped a little bit from 198 last year. This year's cap is $82.5 million. I did laugh when Jerry Jones was getting credit because he knew what the salary cap was going to be. Therefore, he could overpay for Dak Prescott. No other agent or no other owner is being given credit for knowing what the salary cap number was going to be. Only Jerry Jones knew, and that's why he overpaid for Dak Prescott. I'm not believing that. I think Jerry got a bad deal, but got the only deal that he could, given the circumstances there. Jerry's not taking a victory lap. Normally, we would hear Jerry. He usually has his Tuesday radio appearance. Maybe he doesn't do that in the offseason, but you would think after a deal like this, you take a victory lap if you got a great deal. He did not get a great deal with Dak Prescott. And I think that this is a better deal than what Patrick Mahomes got. Here are the numbers for Patrick Mahomes. Now, this is assuming that they don't renegotiate, restructure his deal after, 3 or 4 years. $22 million. That's this next season. Mahomes makes $22 million, then 30, 40, 38, 42, 42, 60. $60 million in 2027, then 45, 45, 51, 53. That will be, and it is already, a team-friendly deal with Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott, with what he's getting paid in the first 2 years, and then he won't even get to a fourth year. After the third year, we're going to find out, what the Cowboys think of Dak Prescott, what's happened, playoffs, have they made it to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, and if they've done any of those things, Dak Prescott, going into that fourth year, is probably going to get a new deal. His contracts are going to blow Patrick Mahomes' deal out of the water. It sounded great. When I first saw it, I thought, you're going to get a bargain, Kansas City. If the average price tag is going to be around $45 million for Patrick Mahomes, given his trajectory, that's a bargain for Kansas City. At what point, though, does Patrick Mahomes' agent go, wait a minute here? We deserve $60 million a year, not just 2027 where we get $60 million. Dak Prescott got a great deal. But with that comes the expectations. Now it's not a cute story out of nowhere, comes in, Mississippi State, fourth-round draft pick, Tony Romo gets hurt. Now you go in, you go 13-3. That doesn't work anymore. Now the expectation level with Dak Prescott is the same it is with Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Win a Super Bowl. Not, hey, you made it to the first round of the playoffs. Hey, you got to the second round of the playoffs. Now comes the pressure, the real pressure. Because when you win, you'll get credit. When you lose, you're going to get the blame. And you start to look at what you can do with a roster like that is bloated right now, and what can you afford? Because when you're making $600,000 a year as the starting quarterback with the Cowboys, you can afford everybody else. Well, when you afford everybody else, then all of a sudden you get paid. You're going to have some of these guys get cut. And that's where you're going to have to hope that Dallas can make some good draft picks here. The Buccaneers decided they were going to keep Chris Godwin. And I thought that was an interesting signing by them because Tom Brady probably had a word in this and said, got to keep Godwin for me. Levante David, they have signed him to a 2-year deal. And he might be the face of a faceless defense. He's a wonderful player. Devin White is a star. If they get Shaq Barrett back, now all of a sudden, Tampa is the team to beat again. And we normally think that after you win a Super Bowl, like, oh, they're the team to beat. It's rare when that team to beat is formidable the next season. But if you bring back Shaq Barrett, you bring back Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette. I don't know if Ndamukong Suh is back. Brady getting a contract extension. The Buccaneers right now look pretty good. They hit their stride at the right time last season, and they'll face serious challenges to keep the momentum rolling this fall. You can go back to last season where I wondered if they were making the playoffs. And that's with the extra playoff spot. I thought that might be how Tampa gets in because I didn't think they were great. But I also realized eventually, soon after, Brady is doing what Belichick does every year, and that is we're kind of figuring out who we are in real time, right in front of people. This isn't we know in July who we are or August who we are or September who we are. Brady, I think, was still figuring this out. No preseason games, no offseason workouts, and you're going into the season, you're trying to figure out who are we? I'm bringing in Leonard Fournette. I'm bringing in Gronk, Antonio Brown. Who are we? And then they figured out who they were. And that's when all of a sudden the defense was winning games and the offense complemented the defense. But this is just like what the Patriots do. Who are we? September is preseason for Belichick. Always has been. Those first 4 games, we're figuring out who we are. It took Brady and the Bucs a little bit longer because he was joining a new team. Now, all of a sudden, you've already eased Gronk in, Leonard Fournette in, and I can save some of these guys. There were games I'd watch, I didn't know Gronk was playing. But they didn't rely on Godwin and Mike Evans to do any damage in the Super Bowl. It's Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, and Rob Gronkowski, and that defense. The defense is the key. Brady had a wonderful season. Without that defense, you're not winning. That defense was spectacular. And somebody on that defense deserved MVP, in my opinion. But we love to give it to the quarterback. It was a quarterback-driven Super Bowl. Fine, you give it to Tom Brady. But if Tampa is going to be formidable and maybe repeat, it will be because of the defense. Yeah, Paul.
2 years ago, under Jameis Winston, the Buccaneers had the 3rd-ranked offense in the league in scoring. Last year, they had the 3rd-ranked offense in the league in scoring. Nothing changed. Yeah. 2 years ago with Jameis Winston, that old roster, 29th in the league in defense. Last year, they're 8th in the league in defense.
Yeah. I thought at the end of the year they were top 5 defense the previous year with Jameis Winston. And that's why when Brady was going there, Brady probably looked and, look at the Patriots' defenses. Those defenses were winning Super Bowls for Tom. Big plays. You had great players. It's just we focus on the quarterback. But those defenses were winning Super Bowls as well, and that's the same with that Tampa defense.